Every school day, I teach students the importance of understanding and learning from history. I constantly explain to the young minds in my classroom that history can change on a dime, and if we fail to learn from it, we are doomed to repeat it, sometimes quite literally. As a historian, I see our country, state, and our community in a very interesting time historically. I believe we are presently at a crossroads where either big money rules our once beloved country or a place where we, the citizens, rise up and take back our country. A place where we take it back from the big money interest and continue to grow our vibrant middle class, protect the less fortunate, and respect the wealthy. A place where we can start to regrow as a community, cultivating our democracy and respecting our capitalist history. You see, we write our history with our support and with our votes. Unfortunately, a lot of people nowadays are voting based on ideological reasons that they don't quite fully understand. Often they will vote for people who do not have their best interest at heart, or worse yet, who do not have the best interest of their family at heart. It's time to ask ourselves, why would it ever be okay for anyone not to have health care? We need to ensure that every Marylander has access to affordable, high-quality health care. We need to ensure that people who work a 40-hour work week do not live in poverty. We need to ensure that all of our school systems are fully funded and that our teachers are respected for their hard work. And yes, pay does equal respect. We need to ensure that we have the funds to rebuild our deteriorating schools. We also need to get rid of Common Core. The whole thing is a bad idea, and it could end up costing taxpayers up to $100 million to implement statewide. That's $100 million that is better used in other areas of education. So in this case, we need to ensure we listen to our teachers and administrators, many of whom oppose Common Core. Maryland is currently the #1 state school system in the United States. We need to ensure that we keep it that way. And then there is transportation. We need to ensure that our constantly gridlocked roads are widened. After all, we pay a lot in state and federal taxes. We should be able to see our taxes at work for us. We need to ensure that our beautiful green spaces and farms are preserved from developers and government officials that ignore the infrastructure needs to pass along the cost to future and existing generations. We need to ensure that our garbage is recycled and composted and not simply burned by incinerators that nobody wants in their backyard. For a while now, we have been on a road where we have ignored our infrastructure and to some degree even neglected our schools. I decided to seek the District 4 seat because I realized that the only way that the House of Delegates will address the concerns of middle-class Marylanders is by electing someone committed to working with both parties to advance solutions to the issues we face. I believe that District 4 is best served by sending a delegate to Annapolis who has a common sense, pro-business approach like myself. A moderate who believes District 4 should have a voice in the majority party in Annapolis. I've always been interested in public policy, and I understand how it affects all of us. I also know that I can be very passionate about important issues, and I have never been shy about sharing my views. As a high school teacher, I understand the importance of education. It is an issue that touches me personally. A lot of my students are unable to go to some colleges because of the cost. Think about the debt that we are burdening our children with. Many of these kids worked hard, and they deserve to go to good schools. Education touches all of our lives, whether we have school-age children or not. Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said, "Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely." The real safeguard of democracy is therefore education. Good schools give our children the ability to excel in the future, which gives future generations the opportunity to participate in the economy as past generations have. It reduces crime. It improves the quality of life for all of us. Good schools help increase our property values. Parents of school-aged children prefer to move to regions that have schools, good schools, that they are so much that they are willing to pay top dollar for homes in those areas. As your delegate from District 4, I guarantee you that I will fight fervently for our school children every day to make sure that all of Maryland's school children have the very best education possible in the United States. As a 10-year resident and a homeowner of Frederick County, I have watched the traffic problems get worse and worse each year. One only need to turn to WTOP early in the morning to know that I-270 is a consistent mess. Residents in our area spend far too much time stuck in traffic. One of the reasons I am running is to fight to get I-270 and US 15 widened from Germantown to Monocacy Boulevard. While this project is currently not on the priority list, it is high time that at least one delegate from rural Frederick County fights to make this happen. Like education, I will not falter or waver on this issue. I know a lot of people like the freedom of driving in their own car. I know I do. But we also need to look at alternatives to driving and alternatives to using our roads, alternatives that look to the future. This is why I would fight for funding to extend the Red Line from Shady Grove to FCC in Fort Detrick. It is time to connect Frederick County to the Washington metropolitan system. At the same time we need to connect Frederick County to the metro and widen and improve our roads, we must also preserve our unique way of life and not become like the counties in which many of us work while we choose to live here in Frederick County and in Carroll County. Frederick and Carroll counties are special. Most of us live here because we enjoy the rural nature, the small town areas of Frederick and Carroll counties. We don't want Frederick or Carroll County to become another center of congestion like parts of Montgomery or Howard County. Besides, projects like the Monrovia Town Center will only end up making Frederick County residents pay for the added burden of new schools and the improvements to state and county roads that come with the additional population that thousands of new homes would bring. If I become your next state delegate, I promise to fight against large-scale development projects that pass the burden of additional infrastructure cost on to existing taxpayers. Like most people in Frederick County, I work a full-time job. But as most teachers will tell you, teaching is way more than just a full-time job. For most teachers, it's not just a 40-hour work week. It's more like a 50 or 60 or 70-hour work week. Teaching is not just a job, it's a calling. This is one of the reasons we need to make sure our teachers are paid for their hard work and are not used as a way to cut budgets. It's time to fix maintenance of effort at the state level by requiring each school system to fulfill its contractual obligations with teachers, administrators, and support staff. I'm often concerned that our children will not have the opportunity to do better than other generations. Remember that many of our opportunities were put in place by our parents. I worry that we are strapping this generation with too much debt, both publicly and privately, that our infrastructure is deteriorating and our green spaces are being slowly developed into oblivion. As a teacher, I sometimes hear people say that this generation of kids are too lazy and too concerned with their technology to the point of antisocial behavior. Yes, our kids are very technologically savvy, but they are not antisocial and they are not lazy. This generation works very hard in school. In fact, because of technology, I believe they work harder than we did. I fear that we are not doing right by our kids, and we need to fix that. This generation is America's future. It's Maryland's future. If we give them the chance they deserve, they will do right by us, and they will do right by their children. That means investing in our schools, investing in our infrastructure, and preserving our environment. I don't have a lot of money, and I'm not independently wealthy. And I completely agree that money has corrupted the political process. However, if I am going to win this race, and it can be won, I will need enough money to push back the attack dogs when they start nipping at my ankles. So I need to make a plea for donations. You see, the people I will run against in November will be well-funded. While they are likely to be wrong on quite a few of the issues, they will have a lot of money, and we need to combat that. Consider it an investment in Maryland's future. We are on the right side of history, but history sometimes takes time to play out. Partisan bickering and the politics of no will find no kind place in history. States like Maryland will be looked at as beacons of light in the tossing stormy seas. Let's make that light stronger, so when the skies clear, we are the model that the rest of the nation follows. The Olympics have often been touted as a model of cooperation for the world's nations. Those who run for elections, like athletes, sometimes run to bring glory for themselves, or they run for their country and for their communities. I am running for my community. Remember, I only need to medal in this race. I would like a gold, but I will take a bronze. Because in this race, if you get at least a bronze, do you know what they call you? They call you delegate. But I can't win this race on my own. I will need all of you here to help me. I need all of you here to urge your families, your friends, your co-workers, the people in your churches and your synagogues to join our campaign to make the Northern Maryland we love an even better place and to preserve it for the next generations. Walk the precincts with me. Make phone calls with me. Write letters to the editor about our cause. Put a bumper sticker on your car. Put a sign in your yard. Do anything you can, but most importantly, get everybody you know out to the polls. I cannot thank you all enough, and I need you to join me in this campaign. But let me make it clear from the onset, this is not just my campaign, it's our campaign. Because without your help, I can't win. But with your help, we can all certainly win. President Clinton, Bill that is, we'll have to qualify that in 2016, once said, when times are tough and people are frustrated and angry and hurting and uncertain, the politics of constant conflict may be good. But what is good in politics does not necessarily work in the real world. What works in the real world is cooperation. Please help me bring cooperation to District 4. May God continue to bless America and continue to bless the good people of the state of Maryland. Thank you.